Hello. Today I will be reading a fan fiction. I don't really do this kind of stuff, but here I am. Enjoy. Yeah. Um, Tom knew Tord was hiding something, and he wasn't going to wait around to find out what it was. Heading back to his room, Tom started snooping around, looking for anything that seemed out of place. At first, he found nothing, but then he was reminded... Now I can't speak English. But then he reminded himself that this did, in fact, used to be Tord's bedroom. So he had to look for things that were there when he switched rooms. His eyes moved. Portrait of Tord that he had written. Tord smells, and he drew devil horns on and a tail on it with permanent black Sharpie. He reached out and removed it. Behind it was a big red button with a skull on it and the word danger in all caps above it. Tom reached out to push it, only for his hand to be solid. Surprisingly, there was another painting behind the other. Frustrated, he quickly removed it, revealing a large lever. He grabbed and pulled. There was a sound unlike a garage door opening. He turned to his bedroom while lifting, relieving some sort of hidden lab behind it. Cautiously, Tom stepped forward. It was a small room with many panels and colorful buttons. Not knowing what else to do, he began sorting through everything towards his desk. He picked up a large file to move it to the side. However, something slipped out. That's when it caught his attention. A thin piece of paper with a strange image printed on it. He reached over and picked it up. "What the fuck?" he said, staring at it closer. It seemed to be a wanted picture of Tord. He knew something wasn't right with him. Placing the poster in his pocket, his eyes then wandered until they landed on what looked like the overpriced something kit. He walked over and picked up one of the bottles, examining it. It was filled with some sort of purple liquid and smelled surprisingly like cinnamon. I can't speak English. Tom was about to set it down when he heard someone clear their throat behind him. Spinning around quickly, he came face to face with the one person he definitely didn't want to see. Tord stood glaring at him with his arms folded across his chest. "Tom, what are you doing in here?" Tom, what are you doing here? "I was going to ask you the same thing." Tom, Tord said, shaking his head and taking a step closer with each word. "I'm only here to take back what's mine." "Stop," Tom ordered, raising his bottle of strange liquid, or I'll drop it. Tord frowned, but stayed where he was. "I always knew there was something bad about you. Who would expect less from a communist?" "Shut up," Tord snapped. "I know you're somewhat..." I'm getting confused. Which line is which? I'm trying to do the Norwegian accent for Tord, and then Tom is just... Okay, anyways. "I know you're someone criminal. What else are you hiding?" Tom asked. he said, glaring back coldly. So what? You came here to kill us all? Oh, this is Tom. Okay. So what? You came back here to kill us all, right? Of course you did. And you know why? Because you're a dirty, backstabbing traitor. Tord let out a furious cry, launching himself at Tom. Tom backed up, trying to get away, but before he was crushed by Tord, landing hard on his back. Most likely, he was going to have a few bruises in the morning. Okay, I'm not gonna talk about it. I'm not gonna mention it. He had managed to keep the bottle from spilling, but was suddenly grabbed forcefully by his hood. Take it back. Oh. Take it back! Tord screamed at him. Fuck off, Tom said. Tom yelled back. Tord brought his fist back and slammed it into his face. Tom cried out, bringing his head to his nose, and I can't speak English, as his whole face erupted in pain. Tord's eyes traveled to the bottle in his hand, and he frowned. Give it back, he snarled, grabbing for it. No, Tom growled, pulling it out of his reach. I said give it back. Tord jumped, grabbing the bottle and pulling it towards him. However, Tom had his fingers wrapped tightly around it and was desperately trying to take it back. Finally, of them held on too tight, causing it to break, spilling all of its contents of both of them. Ah, what the fuck? Tom yelled. It burns! He desperately tried to remove his hoodie as the acid-like liquid was absorbed into it. It hurt. It hurt so much. It felt like his whole body was on fire, burning deep within his veins. He screamed, tears steaming down his face. Wait, I don't know. He managed to look down at Tord, who was still lying on top of him. His eyes were closed, but tears could still be seen running down his face. He had passed out from the pain. Tom wasn't far behind, his eyes losing their focus and then falling shut.